money. How many of you can relate? Do you like losing money? Put in the chat. If you like losing money, put in the chat, right? I don't think nobody likes losing money. So I started going on this quiet journey to learn about money, to learn about what is it that the wealthy do? What is it that the rich people do? How are they able to accumulate wealth, keep wealth, grow wealth when they die, their kids. The wealth is still there, right? So when someone showed up to my college, at the time I was teaching at Kingsborough Community College, and someone by the name of Angel, who is truly my angel. And guys, this is what I say, we cannot be selfish with sharing this information. We cannot be selfish. You just never know who is hungry, who is looking for an opportunity. Because I was, even though I had a great career, I was chasing time freedom. Not so much the money, because I was already making 6 figures in corporate America, but I was chasing time. I wanted to work whenever I want to work, how long I want to work, from where I want to work, right? And now I get to be in my home all day, every day, zooming and booming, right? I could wake up at 2 o'clock or wake up at 6 a.m. or wake up at 4 p.m. I control my day and my future. So don't be selfish, right? And I say don't be selfish because if Angel, right, who is part of WFG campaign, if he had said, you know what, she looks like she got it together, she's a professor, she probably got her stuff together, he would have never spoken to me. He would have never approached me and said, hey, you know, I'd love to share some information with you. And I said, okay. And he gifted me a book. And that book was called Saving Your Future. 86 page. I read the book, and the very next day, there was a seminar at Mercy College in the Bronx. I showed up, and what I learned reading the book, 86 page, and what I learned at that seminar, I realized if I'm a professor and I did not know this stuff, and NYU never taught me this stuff, and I don't know it, so I can't teach it to my community, I got to get on board. I got to come on board and learn this stuff for myself so I could teach it to my students and my community. So today, we're going to be sharing some of these strategies, right? Now, this webinar is titled Playground Millionaire. However, the principles can be applied to adults, right? Not just only kids. So would you agree that when your kids are born, for the most part, they're born healthy, right? Most kids are born healthy. And that is the best time to set their finances up. Why? How do you know if your financial house is solid? What does that look like? Well, just like building a house, it first starts with the bottom, your foundation. And a solid financial foundation involves protection. Odetta, what are we protecting? Well, you're protecting your life. First and foremost, you're protecting your life, right? You're protecting your life. I just spoke with a client who's 64 years old, and I know he's going to be watching this webinar on YouTube or Facebook, and he's 64. And I said, you need protection. If you pass away tomorrow, how is your wife going to pay the mortgage? How is your wife going to send the kids to school, right? Who's buying them? Where's the money coming from to pay the light, water, gas, car, all of those things? Guess what? We start with protection in case of premature death. Everybody's gonna die. We can't get out of here alive. The second thing with protection is, what if we become ill? We cannot work or disabled. Many of you probably don't know, but my brother is disabled, right? He lost both of his legs in an accident. 37 years old, took off both his legs. Guess what? He's disabled for the rest of his life, right? So when you have protection, these are things that if we cannot protect ourselves or we cannot insure it, we got to put things in place, right? So that's for your health. And then worst case scenario, if nothing don't happen to you no time soon, you don't pass away prematurely, you don't get sick, nothing happens with your life and your health. What are you protecting? You're protecting your money. We live in America where people get sued at the drop of a dime. The stock market could go down tomorrow and you could lose a whole bunch of money tomorrow. So the protection is so key. You're protecting your life, you're protecting your health, you're protecting your money. The second layer of having a strong financial foundation is debt management. Again, we live in America. Student loan is going to be a big expense. Mortgage is going to be a big expense, right? So as those debts face us, we got to have something in there to offset those debts, or to manage those debts, or to deal with those debts. The third layer is emergency. Again, life is going to happen to all of us. It doesn't matter. We're not immune to this thing, right? Emergency could happen tonight. Emergency could happen tomorrow. Where's the emergency fund if we're not saving? And then the fourth layer is your kids are going to grow up and they're going to want to invest. You are probably already right now investing. But are you investing smart? And what do I mean by smart? Are you losing money when the stock market go down? Yes, you are. Are you going to have to pay a lot of taxes on that growth of that money? Yes, you are. Right? So a financial foundation, this is what it looks like. Now, ladies and gentlemen, everything that you've learned prior is good, but there's better. Make no mistake. You got good and you got better. So some of you might be saying, oh, Dada, I'm good. Well, how would you like to be better, right, when it comes to your money? So better is the IUL. How many of you have heard about IUL? And what is an IUL? An IUL is an Index Universal Life. Index Universal Life. Transamerica is leading the chart in this space. They're top 5 in the country. Top 5. Super big deal. We love to brag about Transamerica. Top 5 in the country when it comes to the IUL space, right? Number 1 selling IUL, 8 consecutive quarters, all A+, AM Best, A1 Moody's, A+ Global. Okay, last time I checked, it is very good. My students would kill me if I don't give them an A, right? They'd be like, Professor King, what can I do to get an A? Can I do a makeup? Something. Give me something to do because I got to get an A, right? They're fighting for A's. So when you save money in an IUL, we call it IUL for short, but it's Index Universal Life. Make no mistake, this is not your typical mom and grandpa type of policies. You see, life insurance has changed over the years. IUL is like your smartphone, not a beeper, not a Rolodex phone, not the flip phone. It is today IUL phones, smartphone. So if you got an IUL, you know that you got the best, right? You don't have a regular policy, you have an IUL. So going back to this client that I spoke with earlier today who's 64, he has a term policy. Nothing wrong, but there's better. Because now that he's turning 65, his term policy is going to drop. What do I mean by drop? It's going to cancel because he has outlived 30 years. So what will happen is they're going to send him a nice letter saying, if you want to continue, your premium that was $64 will now be $336. And every 5 years, it's going to continue to increase. So guys, I know some of you have strategies that might be good, but this is to show you there are better options. So when you save your money in an IUL, what do I get, Odetta? Well, number 1, you have a savings component. Your cash value is going to grow. Your cash value can grow 13% maximum, right? You have a 0.75 guarantee. What does that mean, Odetta? Well, anytime the stock market drop and everybody else want to jump off the Brooklyn Bridge and they're crying and they're devastated because they just lost a lot of money. We over here, we chilling. We chilling over here. We stacking these coins, right? We didn't lose a penny. So this is the cash value. Now, the third box is tax advantage. What is that? Tax-free. Tax-free money means more money. If you come on these webinars often you'll hear me say that all the time. Tax-free money means more money. Because if you got $1 million, Dorsey, and your $1 million is in IUL, it's $1 million. But if you got $1 million in your 401k, it is not $1 million because that money has to be taxed, right? So tax-free money means more money. You can touch this money at any age. And then the fourth box is the protection. Again, what are we protecting? Your life. If you pass away prematurely, there's a death benefit that's going to pay out. If you get sick, God forbid, where's the money coming from? Your living benefit, right? Chronic, critical, terminal, these are all real. Every 7 to 10 seconds, guys, 7 to 10 seconds, somebody is being diagnosed with heart attack, cancer, and stroke. I didn't say it, Google it. And we have a lot of doctors and nurse practitioners and medical people in WFG. And when they sit with clients, their number one thing that they're educating families on, you gotta have living benefits, right? You gotta have it. Now, for the folks who are already investing, you may have a 401k, a 403b. I want you guys to look at a 20-year look back. This is actual numbers, how the stock market performed versus somebody saving in an IUL. So in 2003, across all indices, US economy, Asia economy, Europe economy, right? The stock market was up 23%. So that's great. We made money. So your 10,000, let's say if you started with 10,000, it grew to 12. Great. We love it. So for the first 7 years, from 2003 to 2007, you made money. That's great, Odetta, right? You made money. But then in 2008, you were down -40. -40. So all the money that you gained the years prior, you lost it. You started with 10,000, now you're down to 11,000. And the person with an IUL has 17,000. So I'm not going to go through all the years, but you get the drift. Making money is great, but we got to keep the money. We cannot afford to lose any of it. So in the last 20 years, look back, someone who's saving in or investing in your traditional investment accounts would have averaged about 5.88%. That's great. Their money grew. Their money grew. But guess what? This 31,000, guess who's coming for it? Uncle Sam is coming for it because he's going to tax that 31,000, 30, 40, 50% taxes, right? Unlike the person who started with 10,000 in an IUL, his 10,000 grew to almost 48,000. And it's all tax-free. So he got 48,000. And if he had gotten sick within that 20-year period, because COVID came, right? If he had gotten sick and something happened with his health, he had living benefit. If he had passed away during COVID, he had a life insurance death benefit. So you see, IUL, you're going to get more bang for your buck. There's so much more benefits that comes with saving in an IUL as opposed to just saving wherever you're saving. So for those of you that have a job and you may have a 401k, a 403b, TSP, whatever you have at your job, here's a side-by-side comparison. 401k is pre-tax dollars. So as that money grow, do you think, let me ask this question. Do you want to pay tax on the seed when your money is little? Or do you want to pay tax on the harvest when your money has blossomed and grown into a big amount? Do you want to pay tax on the seed when it's little? Or you want to pay tax on the harvest? You got a whole bunch of money. Tell me which one you want. Tax on the seed or tax on the harvest? Type it in the chat. Seed or harvest? Tax on the seed all day, every day. Tax me on the seed. right? You got a little itty bitty one seed, and that seed grows into a nice big mango tree with a lot of mangoes that's like falling down all over the floor. Tax me on the seed all day, every day when my money is little. Take your little money or your little tax out of my little money. Because when my money grows big, I want to keep all of it. Guys, you have no idea how people don't even know what I just shared with you. If they understand just that one concept, nobody would put their money in a 401k. Because tax-free money means more money. You're socking away $200-300 every month in a 401k. It grows. Let's say it grows to $300,000. Now Uncle Sam is going to come and take 30, 40, 50% of that $300,000. So how much you get to keep? The bigger question is, okay, you saving all this money, but how much do you get to keep at the end of the day? At the end of the day, how much you get to keep in your pocket? You and I have no say how much we get to keep. Like, that is just ludicrous. And people don't know this stuff. An IUL is after tax dollars. So yeah, tax my money today. Well, I know that my money is little, because when it grows bigger, later I get to keep all of it, right? Another point I want to point out is stock market risk. Guys, how many times we got to keep seeing this? How many times we got to see stock market crash? How many times we got to see people not able to retire when they plan to retire because now the stock market went down and they just lost 400,000 or 500,000 in their 401k when they thought they should have $1 million. They're down to 600,000 and they still now got to pay tax on the 600,000. They got to work longer. They saved, but they didn't save in the right bucket. They saved. Guys, yesterday I took my brother to the doctor. His aide is 80 years old. 80 years old, still working. Still working at 80 years old. Now, that might be a good thing. If you look at it on the good side, she's healthy. She's out there still doing her thing, and that's great. But at 80 years old, do you want to work because you have to work? Or do you want to work because you just want to do something? You just want to get out of the house. You just want to still be part of society and help people. What do you think? Most people that are still working in their 80s and 90s, do you think they're working because they just want to work? Or because they have to work? Because they didn't save up enough, or they saved up enough, but they did not know or understand this concept I'm teaching you. Taxes eating away at their money, and stock market risk eating away at their money that they have no control over. No control over. So it's not just about saving money, guys. We got to save smart. And this is why we do these webinars, right? And then, of course, some more caveat, right? No long-term care, no critical. So if I get sick right now, like I got 3.5 million coverage, living benefit, long-term care. Am I going to have to worry how my mortgage is being paid? No, I'm not going to worry about money. I'm going to worry about getting the best care, going to the best doctor, and I will only worry about my health. You don't want to, when you get sick, guys, you don't want to worry about your health and finance. You want to worry only about your health and pray. But you don't want to worry about health and then the money too, right? So if you have a 401k or you have a job health insurance, the job health insurance is not going to put money in your pocket if you cannot work. If you cannot work, they're going to pay you out your sick time, your vacation time, and then they're going to say, hey, we can't keep paying you. We can't keep paying you. You're sick. You can't work. So many people, again, do not put things in place just in case something happened to their health, right? IUL include those things. It includes critical, chronic, long-term care. So again, you're really protecting your entire financial foundation. And then the last point I want to show you guys is the death benefit. Again, most people don't know or they don't think about these things. Let's say you got $100,000 in your 401k. When you pass away, what do you think happens? You got 100,000 in your 401k. You die. What happens to that 100,000 that's in your 401k? Put it in the chat. You have 100,000 in your 401k. You pass away. What happens to that 401k? Come on, guys, put it in the chat. Let me see what happens to that 401k if you pass away, right? Tax to the beneficiary. So that 100,000 that you thought you were saving, and when you die, all of it is gonna go to your kids? No, honey. Your kids have no say in how much they're gonna get. Uncle Sam decide how much he want to take first, and then give the leftovers to your kids. Is that fair? No. It is so not fair. But yet still 90% of the population are putting their money in these types of accounts. Why? Because they do not know what they do not know. And this is why we do these webinars every week, to educate the public, right? We can't be selfish. IUL, tax-free death benefit. That 3.5 million tax-free goes to my beneficiary. Not a penny goes to Uncle Sam. Right? Now, for those of you that have kids, please, if you have money in a 529 for your child, by the end of this webinar, you better call us ASAP. Spoke with a client today. He has 3 529 for his 3 kids. 3 of them. 529, been saving from ever since how long? That's great. It's great that you're saving, but not in the 529. Most people don't know this, right? A 529 is only for college. What if your kids decide they want to be entrepreneur, or they don't want to go to college? They want to work right away from school. They don't want to go to college. They want to start a business. Entrepreneurship is the way to go. Maybe 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, the path was go to school, get a job. Now that's not the path anymore. You have options. So if your kids come to you and say, hey, mom, I want to start a business. I don't want to go to school. No longer we're shunning on them, but we're going to support them. Okay, what do you want to do? What type of business you want to get into? Right? 529 is only for college. Okay, so you're going to say, well, Odetta, but my child does want to go to college, because I have clients that, you know, they're doctors, and they know that their kids have to go to medical school. They're like, well, these girls got to go to medical school. They got to become a doctor too, like us. And that's why we opened a 529. And I said, well, yeah, but not in the 529. Why? Why not in the 529? Assets weigh against you towards FAFSA, scholarships, and grants. So even if your kids are you're saving in the 529, your kids want to go to college, you are legally disqualifying yourself from getting free money. Why are we doing this? Because we don't know. Why would you legally disqualify yourself from getting free money? Guys, every school has free money. We live in one of the wealthiest countries in the world. There's so many organizations and foundations that are donating money to these universities and colleges. So why are you disqualifying yourself from getting free money? Especially if you got more than one child, right? No, you save in the IUL where the assets are not even seen, the assets are not disclosed, and it does not weigh against you. So your child can apply for all the grants, all the scholarship, fill out the FAFSA form, and show that they're broke. If you read my second book, this is why you broke. Show you broke on paper, but you stacked up in your IUL, right? So an IUL, it doesn't count against you for school financial aid. An IUL, you can purchase anything with that money. It's not only for school like a 529. Guys, so many people don't even know this stuff, right? That's why they're socking away money in the bank and in the 529. Nobody ever taught them these principles. So if you know somebody that has a 529, please have them get in touch with us so we can educate them or invite them back to this next webinar, which is going to be on Monday, right? No 529, none. When you know better, you do better. So I want to show you guys an illustration of a playground millionaire. This is my baby boy. I wish, right? I wish. But he is so adorable. He's chunky. He's cute. And he's just happy because mom and dad listen to OdetteKing.com and his entire future is mapped out with an IUL, right? So first off, his little life, by the way, the minute your kids are born, 2 weeks old, 2 weeks old, they get that Social Security, you gonna call us. You know somebody pregnant, you gonna call us. Because the minute they pop out that baby boy or girl, they got that Social Security. We put it in IUL on them. This is why I wrote my book, Playground Millionaire. Every kid in America has to be a playground millionaire, or at least has to know that they can be a playground millionaire. What is a playground millionaire? You're about to find out. So mom and dad, they open an account saving $200 a month. Dad is putting 100, mom is putting 100, or grandma is chipping in, right? Because he's a newborn. 113,000 life insurance coverage from day one. Guys, that's powerful. If you put this $200 in the bank, you ain't getting nothing but $200. You put that same $200 in an IUL from day one, your child is insured. Your child's life is insured. Your child has protection with the same $200 you were going to put in the bank. Right? So, Transamerica Stats, like I said, we're leading in the IUL space, 25 years plus in the IUL market. Speaking of numbers, over 497 billion with a B generated in investment. More than 52 billion with a B was paid out in insurance. So maybe somebody died, the death benefit paid out. Somebody got sick, the living benefit paid out. Somebody was saving an IUL for their retirement, that was paid out. Somebody had an annuity, they activated the income stream, that was paid out, right? 52 billion plus was paid out, right? 12.9 million policies currently in force, but that's not enough. New York alone has 9 million people, so there's so much people more to help. And of course, 11.8 million. So even though these numbers are good, it's not good enough. We need to talk to this. We need to share this with more people, right? So like I said, from day one, that $200 a month is giving protection for 113,000. Guys, do you know there's some grown adults that don't even have 100,000 life insurance? Grown adults. And I'm going to show you that with this policy, how this kid will be a tax-free millionaire. So pay attention. He started out with 113,000 life insurance coverage, right? So let's go to the tabular detail. We want to focus our attention on the last chart that says non-guaranteed, right? So if you remember the 20-year look back, let's go up here so I can show you guys again, right? The 20-year look back, in the last 20 years, IUL performed 8.15%. That was history. We don't know what's going to repeat, right? So based on history, you can see 8% was a high number. Are we ever going to get 8% in the bank? No. So this IUL illustration is showing us 7%, super conservative. Now this child is a newborn when he is 5 years old, right? When he is 5, woo, gotta love it, y'all. When this child is 5 years old, look at his cash. Oh, let me make this bigger. Look at his cash value, $10,000. How many 5 years old do you and I know have $10,000? Put it in the chat. How many 5-year-old do you guys know have $10,000? 5 years old. 5 years old. 5 years old. $10,000. But not just $10,000. $10,000 with life insurance of $113,000. At 10 years old, right? Age 10, now he's got $26,000. At 15 years old, now he's got $47,000. And I keep saying he, but it's really the owner of the account. The mom, the dad, the grandma, whoever opened this account that's the owner, it's their money first. So here's another thing, guys. You might be saving this money for your kids, but what if your kids become successful like myself? If my mom and dad had opened this account for me, this money could help their retirement because I don't need it. So you're doing this for your kids, but if your kids are successful and they don't need this money, you don't have to give it to them. It's your money. It's your money. You're saving for them, but it's your money. You could help them along the way, but if they're successful and they don't need it, it's your money. That's why I love this product. Another reason why I love it, right? At 20-year-old, they got $76,000. And guys, you're saving $200. We're not even increasing it. So imagine if we were increasing. So I'm just really showing you guys right now like a really basic policy. If we really supercharge this stuff and said, you know what, I'm going to start with $200, but every year I'm going to bump it up $50, bump it up $50, bump it up $100. And I keep increasing over time, we got more money here. We got more cash value. But just to show you, even with $200 consistently and never adding anything extra, how we looking? How we looking? We're looking really good, right? So now I'm going to jump all the way to the millionaire mark because we want to show these kids how they can be a tax-free millionaire. At the age of 58, right? 58 years old, we are a tax-free millionaire. Playground Millionaire. 1.026. Guys, you know how many clients I sit with on a day today that don't have $1 million tax-free cash anywhere? They may have $1 million in their home, but that's not liquid. That's tied up in their home, right? Their home might be worth over $1 million, but it's not $1 million tax-free liquid. Powerful strategies, right? $1 million at the age of 58 is super ambitious. And obviously this is just one strategy. This is not the main strategy. This is just one strategy. Just one strategy, right? So, a tax-free millionaire. Love it. I get excited looking at these numbers. And guys, again, this is just $200. You don't want to stay at $200 forever. Maybe you do $200 for the first 3, 4, 5 years. But the more money you make, the more money you save. And the more money you put in this IUL, the more cash you have. You have to spend on yourself. So guys, let's look at this child life. Are we going to have a problem when we're 35 and we want to buy a house? Are we going to have a problem when we want to get married? Where's the money coming from? Are we going to have a problem if you want to start a business? My cousin reached out to me. He wants to start a business. He's hitting up the entire family for a donation. Guys, think about it. These things are powerful. These are powerful, powerful, powerful strategies that you can do for your kids and yourself, right? So, wow, look at this. Now we're 865. We got $1.5 million, 1.5. But look at the crazy part. Premium outlay. How much did we put in? Talk to me, people. Talk to me, people. How much did we put in? What is this number? How much did we put in? That grew to 1.5. Every child needs to be a playground millionaire. Every little boy, girl, nieces, nephew, grandchild, stepchild, godchild, cousin. We need to show their parents this. We need to show their parents this, right? You put in $156,000. So if somebody had told you, I want you to save $200 a month for 65 years. Just put it away. Just keep stacking. Stack your coins, right? You're getting so much more benefits, guys. You get the 1.5 cash, tax-free, that you're spending on yourself. And there's also a debt benefit. Crazy, guys. You get so much more money for your money with benefits. With benefits, not just only life insurance. You get the cash value, you get the living benefits, right? And now, let's talk about the legacy. Let's talk about the legacy. Now, this child, let's say they live up until age 90. What is the death benefit at age 90? Talk to me, people. What is the death benefit at age 90? Over $7 million. And if this child, his parents did this for him, when he gets his kids, what do you think he's going to do for his kids? It's a no-brainer. He's going to do the same when he gets his kids. So now you see this 7.5, this 7.0, that's generational. That's money that could go to his grandkids and great grandkids, because by default, he's going to make sure the minute he gets his children, he puts IUL on his children too. Because his mom did it for him and he saw firsthand how this helped his life. Right? IUL is a powerful, powerful, powerful strategy. The reason why people don't have it is because they don't know about it. Simple. Right? So, now that we've touched base on the IUL, I want to show you guys. And yes, if you have questions, put it in the chat. I'll address those questions later on. Who are we? Our company is called Aegon. We've been around for 177 years old. Transamerica is our parent company here in the US. Yes, we're owned by one of the largest financial companies in the country. Transamerica has been around for 119 years old. And World Financial Group, which is the platform distribution, we distribute financial education. We teach people how money works. We teach people how to pay themselves first. We teach people ways to better save for their retirement, their kids' education, or how to build and protect their wealth, right? And we have about 77 different financial companies on our platform. These are just some of the few. 77, right? How many of you have heard about Nationwide, right? You all know the jingle. They're on our side, right? Everest, the only funeral concierge that pays out in 48 hours. You die today, your family getting a check in 2 days. No other company does that, right? And our motto is simple: no families left behind. We know that people don't know this information. So our job is to go out and teach it and help families. Now, on the business side, there's a lot of money to be made in the financial service. My first check in WFG, it hit me like a ton of brick. My first check in WFG, I realized, wait a minute, I would have never earned that at my job. And I decided to flip the script. Started hunking down on WFG, learn this stuff so I can make this my full-time. And my full-time job back then is now my part-time. I still teach part-time. I don't teach full-time, I teach part-time. So when you start with us, you're a training associate. Everybody starts at the bottom, but you don't have to stay at the bottom. You want to work your way up. Training associate is 30% commission contract. So 30% of what, Odetta? Whatever you help that client save in a strategy, if the client is saving $250 a month, which is $3,000 a year, 30% of this $3,000 is $900 that you make. You move up to an associate, 45% of this same $3,000, now you're making $1,350, $1,350 for 2 hours of your time on a Zoom, because we do everything on Zoom. Thanks to COVID, it changed the game. We no longer have to go to offices, keep meetings in the office and people coming after work. No, go home and just log in on your phone or your computer, right? Now you're a marketing director at 62%. Same client that's saving $250 a month. As a marketing director, you make $1,860. And you move up to senior marketing director like myself. Same client saving $250 again. Now you're making $2,400. So if you have 4 clients in the entire month, open strategies, easily you're looking at $3,000 to $5,000 a month on a part-time basis. More families you help, more money you make. So at the end of the day, the question is, how many families do you want to help? We have no quotas. We have no goals. You set the goal. You said how many families you want to help. You said if you want to move up the ladder or you want to stay as a trainee, right? Now, the average senior marketing director makes anywhere between $86,000 to $1 million. $86,000 to $1 million. Guys, again, I'm going to go back to how many of us, if we stay at our job, would ever make $1 million a year? If you and I stay at our job, would we ever make $1 million per year? Put it in the chat. I want to know, because maybe it's just me. Like, if you stay at your job right now doing what you're doing, would you ever make $1 million at your job? My dean will never make $1 million. She's great. My dean of my university, no, she's not going to make $1 million. We have Professor Dr. Amaya, Harvard Economics. She's in WFG. She does not make $1 million teaching at Harvard. If you go on her Facebook page, she just came back from convention. She was one of the speakers. A Harvard professor, not a regular professor, a Harvard professor, teaches economics, is in WFG. And she's making WFG her full time and still teaching at Harvard. Because now that she knows this information, she can share it with her classroom. She could educate her fellow professors like herself. So we may have a PhD at our jobs, but we still broke. We still don't know how money works. And speaking of how money works, right? Those of you that are part of our amazing campaign, or even if you're not part of our business model right now, I want to share a video. Many of us just came back from Vegas, and our next convention is
Money Mastery.
Okay, let's share this.
One focus. The most anticipated event of the year. Money Mastery. 2 regions, 1 focus. 2 days, 1 outcome. Money Mastery. October 2021. First, Phoenix, Arizona. October 27-28, Nashville, Tennessee. Learn what the rich and wealthy know. Discover the high power of IULs. Secure your future with index annuities. Learn how to scale in business because knowledge is power. Put yourself in the class of the rich and wealthy. Increase your cash flow and generate passive income. With special guest speaker, David McKnight. Financial independence is not a dream. Make it your reality. Register now.
So who is fired up and gonna be coming to either Nashville or Phoenix, Arizona at our next convention? Again, this is open to everyone. You don't have to be in the business because our goal is financial education, to educate our community so we know better, we can do better, and we can all change our lives and help change other people's lives by default. In this business, the more money you make is a direct reflection of you helping a lot of families. The more money you make, you helping a whole lot of families, right? You changing a whole lot of lives. And I say it all the time. We have to be careful what we say, but I say it all the time. I know when I get old, the person that's going to take care of me is going to be a child that I sat with their parents when they were born. And I said, hey, let's put a plan in place to save for your child. That plan helped put that child to college. That plan put money for his down payment of a house. That plan helped him get the best education that money could buy because he wanted to be a doctor or he wanted to be in the medical field. So what you reap, you will sow. And my job is to share this information. I'm empowered. I'm excited. I want every child to be a playground millionaire because guess what? I don't have any kids, but I have a lot of kids, if you know what I mean. I don't have any kids, but I have a lot of kids. So with that being said, we thank you guys so much. I'm going to check the chat to see if there's any questions and answer your questions. Any questions?
No questions from me, but just a big thank you. This was pretty dope. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. So
I had a quick question.
okay.
When you did the millionaire, and it's amazing, you're excellent at what you do. Very understandable. I love that. And excited.
Thank you.
Did you level off? Or did you just keep the face value increasing?
So the face value is increasing generally with IUL because IUL is to build cash value. When you stop funding the account, so let's say if we're saving all the way until age 65. Once you stop funding, then it switches off to level. And you want to do that because when the older we get, we would have already hit the threshold of how much coverage we would want to leave to our heir. Now, if you want, wealthy people probably would still keep it going because they want to leave a lot of money that's tax-free. Maybe they have a lot of real estate, they have a lot of businesses, and they want to keep using the policy to shelter taxes, so they will keep it. But most people, 90% of us, once we're 65 and we stop funding the account, we would switch it to level. This way, the death benefit now is level.
Okay, and then it'll grow faster, right? Because it's cheaper. Okay.
Yes. Are you? What group are you in?
Olivia and Tracy.
Woo! Love it. Yes. So we level it off once we stop funding. This way, we're still building the cash value. And guys, it's amazing. Like that's why I have 3, right? I don't have 3 just because I ain't got nothing to do with my money, but I got 3 because when I'm 65, I'm gonna have like $400,000 in retirement income, right? So, and I want to say this too, that not a lot of people who sell or do IUL truly know a lot about IUL. You know, this is new to a lot of companies and agents, but you really have to study it, right? So if you're in the trenches, you're running numbers every day, you're on Zooms, you're on webinars, you're reading, you're studying. Just like a doctor, not every doctor specializes in whatever, right? Some doctors are good for one thing, and then other doctors are good for something else. So it's something that I love. I study it. I'm always learning. I'm always reading. One of my mentors is Doug Andrew. Every one of you should follow his YouTube channel. He is amazing when it comes to IUL. So just learn as much as you can. But at the end of the day, it's a tax-free haven. We got to understand the tax game. We cannot keep saving, and we don't know how much we get to keep, because Uncle Sam is going to tax a good chunk of it, and what do we have left, right? And then the other thing that's going to eat away at just saving is the stock market. Those are two things that the IUL will mitigate. Two things: stock market risk and taxes. You have a plan that could mitigate those two. You're ahead of the curve, big time. IUL, all day, every day. Any other questions?
I have a question. This is Shala.
Hi.
Hi. Like everybody said before, this is absolutely amazing. You do a really great job of breaking down the information in an understandable way, so I appreciate that. Can you talk about, I think I've been on your webinar once before, and you said there's about 11 benefits to the IUL. Can you talk about those?
Actually, there's more than 11. It's about 20. So taxes is a big part, and it's not just taxes. There's different types of tax. There's tax 7702, tax 72, tax 101. All of these are different taxes. The money grows tax-free. You can access the money tax-free. And then when we die, so just the tax portion alone is like 5 benefits. And then you also have the living benefits. So what are the living benefits? If you get heart attack, cancer, stroke, you have the chronic, you have the critical, you have terminal. You'll be surprised. Some people have life insurance, but they've never heard about living benefits. So, okay, you got life insurance, but if you get sick, where's the money coming from? You may have $100,000 in your 401k, but that's going to get depleted in like a couple of months. So the living benefits, again, that's like 3 benefits right there that most people don't know. They got insurance, but they just got it for burial. And a couple of years ago, that's how I was thinking too. Oh, I don't need life insurance because I got my burial money. Well, rich people don't buy life insurance for burial money, right? So you have the living benefits, and then you also have the growth potential. Saving money is good, but we got to grow the money. So how are we growing the money? We're growing the money with index strategies. You can't get that in the stock market. You can't get that with your 401k. You can't get that with your IRA. Index strategies are only offered with life insurance, and not every insurance company offer it, right? So maybe I should do let me write that down. I'm going to do a video with all the benefits, and you guys that are on the Zoom, you'll get the webinar, but it's 20 benefits to be exact. So I will run them all, or in fact, what I can probably do is that might be my next webinar, so that you guys can learn. But it's the best. It's the best. Nothing beats an IUL. If you want to control your future, get you an IUL. If you don't want to control your future, you just want to be out here reckless, right? Then keep doing what you're doing. But if you want to control your future, you want to have more money, you want to know that your money's there when you're 65, IUL, no other strategy beats it.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I look forward to that webinar.
Awesome. Thanks for giving me a topic. So someone said you can also call me. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So my number is 973-842. Some of you are private DMing me, so I'm just going to put it out there. My number is 973-842-7927. And you guys will also get an email. Actually, you know what? Let me drop this right now, because there is a survey. We're always looking for things that we can do better, different, suggestions, but more importantly, we got to implement, right? So if we get all this information and we don't implement it, what are we doing, right? We got to implement it. So there is a link that's in the chat. If you could just fill that out, let us know. And actually, I'm going to share the link so you guys can see what is it where you're going to be filling out. So it's a survey link. Let us know if you're interested in a complimentary financial checkup. Again, maybe you have a policy already. That's great. There's nothing wrong with getting a second opinion to make sure you have your living benefit. Make sure you have cash value. What is that cash value your interest is growing at? Make sure if you have a policy where you're accessing money, what is the interest for the loan that you're guys, you have no idea. Most people, if they read their policy, they're not going to know what to look for. They're not, right? I've got people who come to me with a policy and they say, oh, that I'm good. And then I just look at like 3-4 things. And I'm seeing, okay, your money is growing at 6%, but you're paying interest loan of 10%. You're not winning. Like it's costing you more to borrow your own money. Or you have a $500,000 policy, but you ain't ever gonna reap no benefit. You pay for this thing, and then when you die, your family gets the money. You don't get anything for yourself while you're alive, right? And then for some of you who want to learn more about this stuff, come on board, get your license, teach it to everybody you know, right? Because this is like the cure for financial cancer. Let us know about the career opportunity. What stood out to you the most? Give us your full name, your email, phone number, and let us know when you're available for a free consultation. Obviously, some of you might want to have one-on-one for your specific situation. So just let us know what day and time, and someone will call you to answer your one-on-one personal questions. How did you hear about us? We always like to know that as well, because if most of you are coming from social media, we know we need to keep promoting on social. If you're coming to us through whatever avenue, we need to know. So this way we could continue sharing the information in those avenues. And that's it, guys. So thank you so very much for your time. We'll be back here again on Monday. Same thing. So if you want to hear it again or invite someone, come back Monday at 7. And all of August, on Wednesday now, we're going to be talking about retirement, right? Retirement planning. What does that look like? We're going to go through all the accounts that most people have in retirement. And actually, I'm going to pull up the links to show you guys what does that look like. But you guys that are already registered here, you're going to get an email with, to register for the webinar as well. And where is it? Okay, here. So this is the title, How to Save and Grow Your Money, right? Not just putting it in the bank, right, where you're saving it, or putting it in the stock market where it's growing, but I just lost 5,000, 10,000 when the market go down, right? So this webinar is going to be how to save your money, how to grow your money without any stock market risk or paying taxes. Learn to become a Playground Millionaire. So who is this webinar for? Anyone that you know that has a 401k, 403b, 457, TSP, all retirement savings account with our job. Maybe we have a SEP IRA, a Roth IRA, annuities, brokerage account, CD, money in the bank, money in the mattress. I mean, I'm Guyanese. We love to put the susu or money under the mattress, which is a no-no, right? Or maybe we have a 529 college for the kids. Come back. That's going to be every Wednesday in the month of August, right? So we're going to be going toe-to-toe, showing you guys the best way to retire, pros and cons of these accounts. Yes, guys. So thank you so much, and we'll see you on Monday. Have a great evening, and you'll also get this link to register for that one as well. Make it a great evening. Thank you, guys.